Hi, good morning, good evening, wherever you are across the world. Thank you for joining this live streaming today. And if you have missed the live streaming, you will still have access to the recorded version of it in the YouTube. So yeah, if you're listening to the recorded version, that's absolutely fine as well, right? So before we continue ahead, just let me know this information about you, like where are you from, your overall experience in design thinking, and what level do you think in design thinking you have, and what is your expectation out of this webinar series that I'm doing. So typically you can say you're from US, total experience could be 5 years, 15 years, whatnot, experience in design thinking 2 years, things like that. So you can have a look at this and you can just write in the comment section below. It's very, very important for me, so that I can help you. The most important is the expectation from this webinar series. Like if you wanted to know any specific topic that you want me to come up with, just let me know. If it is in line with anything related to design thinking, I will definitely take a stab at it and have my next webinar on that topic, right? So put this thing in the comment section below. It will really help me to engage with you people and will help you to know more about design thinking and meet your expectations, right? So today's webinar, this is second webinar, and what we're going to know here is like, where is design thinking in my organization structure, right? So many people don't know where it is. Typically the organization may not have design thinking, so that's fine, but most of the companies, right, I mean today is, or in this decade or century and whatever you call, they are moving to design led company, right? So companies that are producing any product, like if it is a furniture company, if it is a sports company, you call it like any product. Like I can see here a guitar, I can see some furniture in my house, things like that. So anything that is tangible product or service based industry, they are moving into design thinking, right? So if your organization is design thinking or design led company, where is design thinking in my organization structure is one of the biggest question mark. Or the question could be, if it is not there, where to plug it in, and where is the right place to plug the design thinking in your organization. So we'll be talking about all those things in this webinar today. All right. So anything around design thinking and how and where it is placed, or the right place in the organization structure, is what we are going to talk about, right? So if you have any questions related to this, put in the comment section below, and while this webinar is on, I'll keep answering them. All right. So this was our first webinar, Introduction to Design Thinking. There are some topics here. If you haven't gone through them, I would recommend you to go through it. It has a little bit of introduction. It talks about the fundamentals of design thinking. What is design thinking on a high level? The brands using it. We have also one case study that we have given of a beverage company, and things like that. So very good if you are new to design thinking and you want to get a understanding of design thinking on a high level. This is it's approximately an hour of um, the webinar which we did. So you can find that in our channel. I'll put the link in the comment section somewhere below, maybe not in description, then you can find it in the comment section, right? So this is my YouTube channel, and this is where you can see that there's a playlist called Design Thinking, and you can see here Design Thinking Introduction Webinar 1. So go ahead and try to watch that. It's like around 40 minutes if I'm not wrong. So very good, and this is the second webinar here. So we'll keep adding more and more different topics every weekends. That's what I'm trying to do. Great. So yeah, if you are hearing any background noise, that's probably my kid in the other room, so sorry for that. But yeah, I think this is what we have. So please go ahead and do that. I wanted to change the link of this description of my channel, but I'm not able to do that because YouTube has this restriction. Like if you have more than 50 subscribers, you can do it or something like that. I have only 15 subscribers for now. So I would really appreciate if you can go ahead, click that subscribe button and hit bell notification, like, share, and whatnot. Just help me grow so that I can do something valuable back to you, because like YouTube has its own policies, right? If you do not have these many subscribers, you cannot change the channel. So it becomes difficult for my audience to search me. And there are many other benefits that even I get, which eventually will help you as well. When I put those right contents and stuff around it, right? Great. So I said that. All right. Okay. Okay. Let's move ahead to the next slide now. Um, yeah. So basically, the same thing which I was talking about. Do subscribe. And one of the very important thing, by end of this webinar, you guys are going to get a bonus. I'll tell you how you can get or download the bonus content. So I'll let you know about it at the end of this webinar or somewhere in between. So stay tuned, right? So okay, so yeah, I think there are various bonuses that will come in and will go out. Maybe some bonuses will stay back, some may not. I'm not sure. I've not done that planning, but the first bonus that you have that you'll be getting for this week at least would be the first version of design thinking toolkit. So I'll let you know how you'll get access to it. But do subscribe to us, and you will come to know when these bonuses are coming. And I also keep announcing free or a discounted version of my design thinking Udemy course. So yes, we are on Udemy, and you might find me or find my videos sometimes that on some days for I may give my Udemy courses for free. They typically they come at a price, but you will get it for free or discounts, right? I mean, other benefits is like when I go live, some notifications and stuff like that, what I'm doing, and you have an opportunity in YouTube to talk to me, put comments, ask me questions. I can reply back to you, stuff like that. So we'll be always interacting with each other, right? So please take a stab at that, subscribe and hit bell notification icon, share, like, and everything, right? Okay, great. So that's a part. Like, let's look into the first thing what we're doing here today, right? So before we take a stab at where design thinking get plugs into your organization structure, let's talk about how organization structure typically look like, right? So I'll show you two versions of organization structure. This is the first one, which we typically call as a functional organization structure. And now I'm just showing you the two versions of it. Different companies have different kind of structure. You may say, hey, this is not how my organization is structured, and that's absolutely fine. But these are very generic, which we have seen across, right? So it typically comes from the project management professional, which I was a part of. So yeah. So one type would be the functional. When you say functional, it's like you have a CEO on the top, or the chairman or the owner of the company, and under him you will have functions. Now, what is functions? It could be your HR, the human resource function. It could be your information technology function. It could be your marketing, things like that, right? So it depends upon what kind of industry it is. You may have different kind of functions. Constructions company may have build and design. Pharma company may have research in additional as a functional, right? So it depends upon what kind of vertical or what kind of company you work with, right? So that's why we have just mentioned here functional managers, and under functional managers they will have their typical staff, right? They may have a project coordinator or project owners as such, who typically drives various projects that comes from the strategic initiatives from the CEO or maybe from the functional manager in itself, and sometimes this project person has to coordinate with marketing, and then he has to coordinate with HR, and then things like that to make sure that project is a success, right? So that's a functional, and this is typically the same way, but it is just saying marketing, sales, services, what I was talking about. Typically, they both are the same structure, just the way they are designed in a two different ways here, right? So now the another one is multi-divisional. So multi-divisional, what happens is you have a CEO on the top, but it has corporate headquarters or something like corporates, right? So corporate in the sense they will have corporate finance, corporate planning, corporate marketing, yada yada yada, right? So they will have too many things over there. So what does this? There will be typically a small team there, but they are doing all the policies and what has to be done, what should not be done, what are the rules, regulations, things like that. Basically, they design everything along with the CXOs. And once they do that, you have divisions, or you call something like the BU in the sense business units, right? So again, depends upon what kind of industry you have. You will have different division. If it is pharma, you will have research division. If it is construction, you may have design and build. If it is an information technology, you may have IMS, which is like infrastructure management services, things like that, right? There are different divisions, right? That may be there, but each division has their own target from a revenue perspective and stuff, and they have their own team under them. Like they will have different functions. They will have typical functions. They will have almost all the functions under them to make, and they will only work for this particular division, right? So that this division is successful, and typically they will follow the guidance and rules that has been planned by these people from the corporate marketing. So if you see here, it says sales and marketing, right? So sales and marketing will follow the footsteps and things from corporate marketing here. So whatever corporate planning policies and it comes to here, and they will follow it. And that is how this division will work. But it will have its own uh, boundaries, or it will have its own targets to achieve and stuff like that, right? So let's not get into too much of detail, but this is how typical it is, and typical how it is function. And you may be a part of marketing, you may be a part of human resource, you might be a part of IT, you might be a part of development application, you might be a UI UX designer, things like that, right? So one of the division you may be doing that, right? Typically the same thing here. What you see, it's a same way how it has been written, but in a different way, right? Now, as I said, your company may or may not be fitting into it. You may have a hybrid organization structure. You may be working in a matrix organization structure. You may be working in a structure which is completely overhauled, and you have a completely different way of doing it. That's fine. But I've just put this so that people know what organization structure is, what it has in it, what it doesn't have, what it is composed of. And once you know this, then we can talk about like, hey, where does design thinking gets plugged in? All right. So moving to the next slide. Now this is the crux of this webinar: design thinking in a multi-divisional organization structure. So you have a CEO, and you may have a CFO, which is Chief Financial Officer, Chief Operational Officer, Chief Marketing, Chief Information Technology, or X in the sense this could be anything, right? Chief Design Officer, for example, right, which is in line with our design thinking. So consider you have a Chief CDO, which some companies have Chief Delivery Officer. Let's call it as a Chief CDO, could be Chief Design Officer. You can have that, right? It's completely up to the company to have as many CXOs they want, depending upon the need. Now, this layer is important. Now, it has come a little bit early, but it's okay. We won't deep dive into it, but I wanted to say that the reason you see this here, for example, this is a very senior people who understand design thinking, who are in in this design thinking mindset and organization they have worked for. Like they may have a total year of experience more than 15 years, 15, 20 years maybe, and they may at least have more than 7 to 8 years of experience in design thinking in itself. And they must have worked with a lot of different companies. They must have done a lot of workshops, have solved a lot of problems for big organizations. So those are the typical people who will fit into this strategic layer. Now, what they do is, like, not every CFO, CEO, CMO, CIO will know what design thinking is. So their basic role is to make this strategic layer on the top to become the design led company. So if a company decides that, hey, I want to become a design led company, they will add the strategic layer here, right? So it could be a people of 4 to 5 people on a strategic, very senior people, and they will always keep talking to CFO, CEO, or a CIO and stuff like that to understand. Basically, they may interact more with CMO, because it's related to marketing and things like that, like understanding if they want to run a campaign, get a survey, like what is the user thinking about their product and service and things like that. What is the goal of this company in next 1 year? Is it in line with the product and service that they are producing in the market? And will it be successful? What has to be done? There are a lot of things that comes here. A lot of strategic planning is being done. And once that strategy is applied, like, hey, we have to enhance this product or this module, right? And this is how it should be done, right? So basically, these people will do some level of workshops with the very senior executives, or also they can get a lot of people from below, which could be even a developer, a fresher, or they can also invite, this people will typically invite even end user who is consuming the product. So the product could be anything. This could be a company which is producing cosmetics, right? Cosmetics for your skin. Just take that for an example, right? So these people will try to get all these people, and they will say, like, are you liking the product? Is it good? What do you don't like about it? What is missing in it? How this product can be improved? I don't know, like it could be a lipstick or anything. Like, is it smudging on your face, or what is the problem with that product? So for example, they found, like, okay, this XYZ product, which is a mascara or a lipstick or whatever it is, it gets smudged. It doesn't stay where it is supposed to stay, or stuff like that. So the main pain point is identified, and then they try to position that product enhancement, saying that how we can remove this thing of the lipstick or mascara or whatever it is getting smudged into the face of whatever. Like, yeah, maybe a bad example or maybe a good example. Let me know in the comment section below. But I thought, like, I should get some example here, right, of a product. So that's how they will find it out, and then they will try to put that in the roadmap, and then it will get pushed down to the respective divisions, right? Now, if you consider about a service-based industry, if they are, for example, Netflix, right? So Netflix is using design thinking. They try to understand, like, how do you see Netflix is on the top, because they try to gauge the survey. You see, like, whenever you try to disconnect the Netflix, you have a survey or just an option like, hey, is the pricing is pricing your issue? Do you don't see a lot of movies here? Is it something that you don't watch anymore and stuff like that, right? So they get this very critical information, and after getting this critical information, they know today, like, if a person is of this age working in this industry and things like that, he may not have time to watch Netflix. So they will take this kind of persona out of equation, and they may not throw the ads of Netflix to them. But then, things like that. They do surveys, they do things, and now when you open the Netflix, you automatically come to know your good movies, the recommended movies and stuff like that. So you're always engaged in Netflix, right? So that's one of the reasons why Netflix is on the top as compared to the other competitors, like, because they are using design thinking in their organization. They are empathetic about their end user, and they are a design led company, right? things like that. So yeah, so this is a strategic level, and they do all the strategic initiatives, business. Some people can also call it as a business design, or you could call it as a design strategy workshops, which is all done by this people here. The initiative comes from here, right? Now, once that initiative is done, for example, if you took that mascara or the cosmetic industry as an example, so if that product has to be enhanced, they may typically push that initiative to a division, which could be a research division who has to do a research. So the strategic people did did the strategic workshop through design thinking, and the outcome was, or they identified the biggest pain point, which is this lipstick or mascara getting smudged, and the solution that they want is to produce a product or enhance the existing product so that it doesn't smudge, right, due to the hot climate or whenever they wash their face or whatnot, right? I don't want to get into detail, but that is the solution that they want, that they have decided, right? So that goes to, for example, it will be getting pushed to the research team as their KPI or their key performance index, or their main initiative, that they have to complete this and come out with a product that does not smudge. That is their goal, their KRA for that year. So that will go to the research team. It cannot go to marketing right now because the product itself is not out, or the enhanced product is not out at the moment, right? So it will typically go to a research division. Now, what will happen in research division? Let's see. I think let's forget about this. We have seen a multi-divisional organization, so every division will have all these people here, right? So yeah, consider this is the research team or research division, and they have been asked to, enhance this product so that it doesn't smudge. So the objective is create the mascara by end of this year, which is smudge free, right? So that's an initiative for this research division, for example. So this research team may have HR, finance, whatever commercial projects. So that will become as a project. So smudge free mascara becomes a project, and they have a deadline of to complete it within 1 year. They will start doing some market and research using this team so that they understand what kind of product has to be brought, what other competitors are doing, how to come up with a smudge free, what has to be done, should it be chemical free, yada yada yada, all those things. Basically, it becomes his responsibility to drive that to head. Okay, drive that to not head, but drive that from a cradle to grave kind of approach by the end of this year, right? But typically, what happens? Do you think like this research and development team only has this one initiative? No, right? Where did this initiative came from? It came from the design-led initiative from a strategic layer. It flowed down to this. But do you think that this research division will have only this work to do for this 1 year? No, right? They might be having many other projects, many other things that they might be doing. They might be getting a lot of complaints from their customers, or it might be coming from a division which is like operational division or sales division. It could be a sales division, this could be marketing division or whatnot. Like, for example, some people have brought existing product, they may have some issues, they will send it back to this research development team to fix it. They have a lot of things to do, right, apart from this one specific project that came from here, right? So they may lose the track of it, they may not take it as an important, or they may not prioritize it and stuff like that, right? There are many possibilities. So now comes a layer here which is called the execution layer, which I call as a design sprint, right? Now, the way I'm going to revamp or overhaul the design sprint definition, or how it works. Now, this is all about my research that I do. If you look into my Udemy courses that I do, I mean, I can put a link in the description below. You can go ahead and look into the foundation level. Today, I think it's mid of December 2021. As on today, like we have one foundation course in Udemy, but we will be coming up with a lot of other courses. But if you look there, you just have the foundation, which I have completely designed in line to my experience of last or past 7 years in design thinking, right? So I have a total 17 years of experience and 7 years into design thinking. So I'm also working on a concept like how easily I can define design sprint, right? There's a lot of confusion in the market of design thinking and design sprint, and I'm doing a research and I'm trying to break this confusion and trying to give a very simple definition to design sprint, right? I may change this approach. So I'm just making this statement with a caveat that I may change what I'm going to say now. But the way I'm looking into this research right now, like what should be a typical definition of design sprint is once the design thinking workshop is done, here in this case, or once the strategic workshop is done at a strategic layer, and the outcome is uh, produce a mascara that is smudge free in 1 year of time, right? That's the objective of this person from this research division, right? Uh, to ensure that they are following this and they are on top of these design-led initiative which is given to this division, or for a matter of fact, any of this division, right? It could be some other project given to other divisions, or maybe one division may have multiple projects. What does this execution layer means? So these are design sprint owners who will make sure that, hey, what are you doing? They will have a check and balance with each division and the key people from here. They will have a cadence or a weekly connect or a monthly connect with them to keep a tap on the progress, asking them not from a project management perspective, but from a design perspective. They may ask them like, hey, do you know why are you doing this? Do you know how important it is? Do you need any help? Are you getting the right information from other division if you want? Things like that, right? So but they will be more focused on like whether this team understands and are they connected with the end user pain point. They will be looking into those areas more closely. They may also do some design audits. Now this is a terminology which you may not hear anywhere, at least now in this industry. Now design audit is something, a new terminology which I'm going to bring in this industry. So design auditors means like this design sprint team, they will talk to this division and they will do an audit, a random audit, and check with the marketing people, do you know why are you doing this research? They will check with the projects, they will check with like, do you know why you're doing this product? What is it going to impact? Who is the end user? They should know why they are doing this project. I'm sorry, right? What is the value add to the company? They should be aligned with the design-led initiative of this company, right? So those design audits would also be a part of this team. Sometimes they will do design audit, sometimes they will do design, they will be a part of the design sprint. They'll make sure how the project is going ahead, whether they will hit the right target thing, and whether they are focused on it or not. So the design sprint is pretty helpful to keep running on it. So if this project says that I will execute this project, or maybe my research is not yet complete, I don't know, and how I can create a smudge free mascara, I don't know, I'm still doing the research. Then they're on the research, but once they know the research, they know everything, and everything is out, probably they will do a sprint, right? Maybe coming up with a MVP, which is a minimum viable product, which is a smudge free, right? They will not create a final product which is fancy looking and everything and you pack it. They'll just test it, right? So design sprint is like they will test very quickly within 6 weeks or something like that, or 4 weeks. And that sprint design, the way it is being done, and everything will be taken care by this design sprint people. So within like 6 weeks, they need to come out with a product which is smudge free, minimum viable product, right? It's not fancy. It is, the intent is like it just should not be, it's that product, that mascara should not get smudged, that's all, right? So it could be a very minimal, it may not have a fragrance into it, or it may not have some other aspect into it and stuff like that, which can be done later. But are we achieving the end goal of smudge free product? If yes, it's done. So in 6 weeks we have done that, right? But the ultimate goal of this division is to push that ahead till the market, right? So maybe design sprint will get end by that time, and they may or may not be a part of end release of the product, which probably this division has to coordinate with marketing team and do the marketing of the product, maybe packaging of it and stuff like that, and branding of that project, that mascara. That hey, we are the one of the company who is giving smudge free mascara to everybody, stuff like that. Like they will do ads, campaigns, and everything. And when they launch the product, it will become a huge success, and that will increase the sale of this cosmetic industry like crazy. People, even if they have 10 bottles of mascara which is smudging, they will throw it away and they will come and buy this new product for sure. Now think about how many millions of people I'm talking about. I mean, today in this world, of course, in 2021, you have everything which is like smudge free, mostly in the cosmetic industry. But I'm just saying, like, if there would have been a time, like, imagine if we have never heard about smudge free products, but if you're getting a smudge free now, you will definitely like to upgrade, right? So and then now think about how many millions and millions of people are using mascara, and if they hear about a mascara that is smudge free, they will definitely buy it from you. Whatever company you are, for example, you will become the leaders. You will get millions of order of this smudge free product, right? So do you understand the power of design thinking now? Of course, you get an idea of where the design thinking is getting plugged in. It will get plugged in at a strategic layer, 4 to 5 people here, maybe depending upon the appetite of the company, there can be more. And same here, design sprint, but more in on execution layer. This is where the team will be typically, right? One working with very senior people, the strategic level, and one at a tactical level, right? So that's where they are going to get plugged in, right? But you can also have for example, if this division wants to be design led, but the organization does not want to be, then the design, this division will only have design people with them, the others may not have, right? Because the head of this division wants his division to be design led. Maybe that will help him to churn more revenue and stuff like that. So it depends how it plugs in. But if it is a organization level initiative to become a design led, typically this is how it get plugged in. And also, if some divisions, they understand the value of this design thinking, they may talk to their CEO, and they will say that, hey, I need a dedicated function within my division, which is design thinking division. So they may have operations, and then they may have a design thinking, right? So they exclusively work for this division only, right? Things like that. So this is how design thinking get plugged in. Now coming back to this example of mascara, right? I don't know why I took this example at the start of it, but I think it's turning out to be a very good example, which a lot of people can understand. Uh, um, yeah, so think about this, like when people start hearing, so this is what happens, like everybody is using mascara and everybody's happy about it, but there is a pain point, like it gets smudged, and none of the industry is doing anything about it, so we are just living with it. But somebody comes and asks me as an end user, like, hey, what's your problem with the mascara? Then I'll say, hey, it gets smudged, or whatever. Like my wife would say that, hey, it gets smudged, and that's the feedback that goes to this kind of organization, and then they take a stab at it, like to improve that product. And when they release it, imagine whatever this name of the company could be of the cosmetic, and if they are branding and if they are marketing that we have a product that will not smudge, and we know there are lakhs and lakhs of people who are having this problem, you are definitely going to get your product sold for this millions and millions of people, because you know in advance that there is a problem and you're solving a problem. That's exactly where design thinking helps an organization to be ahead of competition. That's why I'm saying design thinking is industry neutral. It could be applied to any cosmetic company, any automobile company. It could be pharma. It could be any company, right? Because at the end of the day, our industry is producing either a product or service, nothing else, only product or service. And if you know who you are producing this product and service for, and if you talk to them, understand it through design thinking, you will beat the competition, right? So that's why I'm saying, because do not think that design thinking is simple. Okay, like we took an example of mascara, but think about iPhone has premium segment people, but then they still keep launching new product, and they still are able to sell it. How? Right? iPhone X, 11, 12, 13, right? They are introducing phones back to back. How? Because they do design thinking. Yes, Apple is a design led company. They know their premium segment. They capture the pain point, release one phone. They again do design thinking. They again find out new issues or new pain points or new needs or requirement of their premium segment customers, right? They keep doing it and they keep releasing it, and this premium segment people will keep paying for it. They will scrap out or they will sell their old phone to somebody else, and they will like to upgrade. And this is a human psychology. Every human being likes comfort and likes to enhance their comfort level, right? So iPhone, they have 10 megapixel, they want to increase this to 64 megapixel. The RAMs are increasing, the size is increasing, the security is increasing, and whatnot, right? And that to back every year they're releasing new product. Can we think like iPhone will release a phone with the same features in it? No, it will definitely find that pain point, and they're doing it through design thinking. And this design thinking is not only for big companies. Even if you're a startup, if you're having just two people in your organization, I think design thinking is the best thing that you should adopt to ensure that you're going to produce a product or a service that is going to add value, going to solve a problem, right? So design thinking, from an Apple example, what I'm going to tell you is design thinking is not that simple to understand the pain point of end user. Design thinking is a process. If you have the expert people in your organization, they can solve or identify the problems of millions and millions of your end users. If you have millions of end users, it can find out the problem in a workshop within 2 days. That's the beauty of design thinking, right? So design thinking, if you look from one angle, it might sound very simple. Okay, mascara, something, not smudging, getting a product out, done. But if you look from an iPhone perspective, can you even think how they're doing design thinking? How they're able to understand what is the pain point? Maybe it's a question mark for you in your mind, right? That's where the beauty of design thinking is, right? Also, if you're a very small player, if a startup organization, how will you beat the competition, right? If I ask, if you go to a startup, can you go and help a startup to become successful and start generating revenues back to back? Can we do that? Maybe not, but design thinking can do it. And that's the beauty of design thinking, right? So it requires a lot of practice, a lot of workshops that has to be done back to back, right probing, right mindset. So not everybody can do design thinking, but everybody can if they have that mindset built in, right? So that's why industries are hiring design thinkers. That's why they are doing workshops. They are hiring this kind of people so that they can facilitate, and more than facilitation, they become the trusted advisors for the company, to do all those things, right? So by all those said, I thought it would be a very short video, but I think it has gone a little way too high, but good. But yeah, guys, do subscribe to our channel, this YouTube channel, hit the bell icon. And today, as I said at the end of this workshop, I'm going to give you a bonus and I'll tell you what it is. Keep sending your questions in the comment section. I'll keep answering them if you have any. But the bonus is what I'm going to tell you now. So what you need to do is definitely go and subscribe, okay? Because the more subscription I can do, more better things like live. I can change the name of the YouTube channel and stuff like that. But coming to the bonus, how do you get the design thinking toolkit, right? If you are new to design thinking, I would recommend you to understand what it is. But if you are a little bit understanding what design is, design thinking toolkits will really help you. So what you need to do is you go and you need to type m.me/embrace design thinking. This is nothing but my business, Facebook business chat area, right? So when you type this, ensure that you are on a browser which is having Facebook, or you're on a mobile which is having um, the Facebook connected to it. So you make sure that you're already logged in. So I'm logged in with my ID, which is Embrace Design Thinking in itself. So when you click m.me Embrace Design Thinking, it will take you to the chat section. So you can see here chat. What you need to do is different people will see it in a different way. Maybe in a mobile it is different, maybe in iPhone it is different, but in a desktop, typically, like I think I just tested it before the bonus, so it's showing me like this. But if you are coming here for the first time, you may already see the options here, different auto questions. Uh, but since I'm coming here again, I don't see that option. So what I need to do to see that option again is this: there's a burger menu here. If you see here on the bottom right side, if I click this burger menu, there are many automatic questions which I have set, and I have recently added I want bonus, right? So there are many other questions. If you click, you will get some answers, auto response there. So if you click I want bonus, you will see in few seconds it will automatically reply to you that hi Rajesh, please click the get my bonus button below. So when you click this when you click this bonus, it will take you and you can download the complete bonus. So I'm just trying to say right click, or if I don't know, if I just click it here, okay, it's taking me to another page and you can see the bonus toolkit that you will get. So this is design thinking bonus toolkit here, and you have an option here also, like anytime if you want to talk to me and if you have any questions regarding this bonus toolkit, you can click here. So basically I have 7 toolkits here. The first one is the persona, and using this toolkit you can replicate it into the mural. Maybe these are a little bit jargons for you if you're new to design thinking, but this toolkits will really help you do your workshops. We typically use this toolkits in our all the workshops. So there are total 11 pages here. So you have persona here, and this is the mural setup. If you don't know what is mural, what is how this toolkit has to be done and all, don't worry about it. Download, keep it with you. I will have next webinar probably on how to use this toolkit. I think that will be better, because while I'm looking into it, I think you guys should know how to use this toolkit, right? So, but yeah, I think this is good. Keep it with you. So you will have a persona toolkit, you have an empathy mapping toolkit, you have an as a scenario mapping, ideation toolkit, who, what, and wow is W3 prototyping toolkit, and you have 2B scenario toolkit. Everything in the another 11 slides. So go ahead. Again, I'm telling you one more time, it is m.me. Sorry, yeah, it's m.me / embrace design thinking. Just do that and click enter, and then go for the option I want bonus. When you do that, you will automatically get this. Click this button and you will be able to download it. All right. So great. Coming back to the presentation. So I'll keep adding. I may keep this bonus there. The problem is I may have a lot of questions that pops in. So maybe I'll keep adding new bonus all the time, and I'm going to remove this. I don't know what I'm going to do, but if you're watching this, try to take a stab at it and download the version 1. I may keep updating the toolkit for later, but yeah, do that. So any questions, please comment below. I'll keep answering them. And yeah, I think I'll keep this webinar live for another 10 minutes to take your questions. And even if you're not live, you're watching it offline, post your comments below, post your questions below. Tell me what webinars you need. Do you need a career coaching in design thinking? Do you want to know how design thinking can be implanted in your organization? Do you want to know the certifications? I can give you certifications of my Udemy course. What I'll do is I'll put the link. If you're very new to design thinking, I will definitely encourage you to go ahead and take the design thinking foundation course in Udemy, which is done by me. It's very low priced over there. You can take a stab at it and understand the basics foundation. I'm currently working on approximately 16 hours of workshop or a advanced level course that I'm going to put in Udemy, but I will do it a little bit. I'm working on that project. But anyways, the foundation level is always there. Go ahead, take a stab at it. At least you'll understand the fundamentals around what is product, service, and a lot of other things around it, right? So maybe I'll just give you a gist of it of that in Udemy. So if you go to Udemy, I'll put the link in the description below, but just for you to have a quickly look into it. Since I'm the instructor, I'm just clicking the instructor button here, and I'm going to the, so this is the design thinking fundamentals. So if you just click here, I mean, you will not be able to click here, but I'll give you the link in the description. You can go ahead and take a stab at it. I think, where is the course message or curriculum? I'm sorry. So if you look at the curriculum, it has all this information here. Yeah, I think I should have a preview here. So I'll show you the preview how it will look at your end rather than at my end. So yeah, you could see here that you have introduction, product, service, real life experience, diverge, converge is these are certain jargons or very important concept in design thinking. Quantity over quality, feel versus thing. Then what is design thinking process on a high level, when and where to apply design thinking, why embrace design thinking culture in your organization, some interesting Q&A and wrap up. So it's almost 2 hours of sessions, and I think the 38 lectures in it, total of 2 hours, and there are many other things that is happening here, right? So yeah, definitely go take a stab at it. It's really good to be upgraded with it. Also, I'm trying to tell you guys, like 7 years in design thinking, I have seen people who are very expert, but they don't know the basic fundamental building blocks of design thinking, which is something, even if you consider yourself as an intermediate or even expert, I will not challenge expert people, but at least if you feel like you are intermediate, have a look into this. This is a completely different paradigm of how my research or how we look into design thinking. It will really touch the grassroots of what design thinking is doing and how it is touching all the industries across, right? Why it is industry neutral is one thing that you'll really understand from this, and all the basics of um, feel thing. Many people don't know. I mean, even I've seen, to be honest, this is something I've seen experts. They may not know the difference between feel and think. Sometimes, okay, like some people who say, I'm an expert in design thing, and sometimes hey, do you know the difference between feel and think? At least I've seen 2 out of 10 people, they don't know this. They may be just fumbling. What is it? Things like that. So yeah, it's a good course out there, but it's up to you. You can have a look into it. And the best thing is you can use the certificate in your organization. You can show that you have done design thinking fundamentals to any organization. So 75% of the organization in this world, they say they are practicing design thinking directly or indirectly. So having the certificate is a value add, and Udemy is a public limited company listed in NASDAQ, accepted. The certifications are accepted across all across the globe. So once you complete this, you will have a certificate with you which you can add it in your resume. Okay, so I think that was all about it. If you're, I will check the questions and I'll keep answering it for another 10 minutes in the live session. But if you're looking into the recorded session, no worries. You can still post the comments below, and I will, reply to them. I make sure that I reply to all the comments at least once in a day. I clear all the comments. I don't like keeping any comments here. So if you just look here in my messenger, you will hardly see. I think there's one from Annie, but I need to reply to her. But others, you can just see I've replied almost to all. I don't keep anything open. Okay, so even if you're looking offline or the recorded version of this webinar, no problem, comment. And please, guys, like it, put some comments. Let me know what you need as in the next webinar. Please subscribe to my YouTube. I'm doing this out of my passion, but there are many benefits which if I get, I can help you guys back. Like if I get 50 subscribers, I can change the name of my channel. Let's look crappy, man. Like look at the name of my channel. I don't like this. I want to change this. Okay, so please help me reach at least 50 subscribers. Just go ahead and just click that button. And of course, when I reach 1,000 and other things, there are many other benefits that I get, many options which is given to me, and things like that. But anyways, enjoy the bonus for definitely. and I hope this was informative. But if you have any questions regarding how design thinking is getting plugged into your organization, anything that you think I didn't cover or you want me to cover, or any questions, I will answer in the comment section below. All right, so thank you very, very much to stay back, and yeah, see you in the next weekend in next webinar. Bye, take care, and good luck in your journey of design thinking. Thank you. Bye bye.